Hello, welcome back. In this video, we're just going to continue with solve for x because on the previous video titled revision part 1, we even went into details on how to solve for x, but we went in details on um, law of exponents, factorization, and simplifying. So here it goes. We're going to go straight into activities so that it better clear your questions. Otherwise, just keep posting those questions in the comment section and I'll attend to them. Let's say you have 1 over x as a fraction is equals to x, right? Yes. Some people might be intimidated by this fraction, but whenever you have a fraction, just make everything else a fraction. You can say by divide by 1 because anything divided by 1 is it's itself. So you haven't done anything uh, different. No one will penalize you for doing that, just so that you understand. And when you have like only two variables like this, it's a term and this is another term, not variables, terms. If you have only two terms and there is equal sign in between, you can simply just do cross multiply, right? Then you're going to end up with one term. You're going to end up with x times x, giving you x squared, y x squared. When multiplying the same base, we add the exponent. And then on the other side, we're going to have 1 times 1, giving you 1. From here, then you can say x squared, taking 1 to the other side. Remember, I said in the previous video, whenever you need to factorize, you must make sure that the other side is equals to 0. Then we take 1 to the other side, minus 1 is equals to 0. From here, you can see the square that tells you what kind of factorization you should use, different of 2 squares. Then here we go, different of 2 squares is equals to 0. And here you can see that in the middle here we have 0x, right? So this, if you like, you can write it like x squared plus 0x minus 1. So you see, and then at the end 1 is equals to 0. So you see, this is familiar now, the way I explained to you how to do different of 2 squares in the previous video. Then with this one, same way, this will be the last number 1 and this will be the first. We will consider the 2. Factors of x squared is x and x. Factors of 1 is 1 and 1. Alright, for you to get 0 with 1 and 1, meaning the other one must be positive, the other one must be negative, so that it plus 1 minus 1 gives you 0. So you see, and then from here you're going to go to x is equals to negative 1, meaning this bracket must be equals to 0. Let me just write it here. X plus 1 bracket must be equals to 0, or the x minus 1 bracket must be equals to 0. Then this side you have negative 1 because plus 1 to the other side is negative, and then this side you have a positive 1, minus changes sign to positive 1. Then that's about to solve this. It looked trickier, but it's fairly easy. You just have to play with it. Yes, there's another technique to do it, but for now, I hope everybody understands until this point. And to show me your answer if you did it differently. I would appreciate it to see how far and good you are getting with these numbers. So the second one we can encounter is this one. From here, we can go to 1 is equals to 2 over x. It's similar, but not the same, minus x on the other side, right? Then with this one, because you have 1, 2, and 3 terms, you can cross multiplying will be difficult for you. But what I like about this, you can simply just remove the fraction. Let's make everything a fraction over 1 over 1 over 1. Then if things are like this, you multiply everything with the product of the denominator. Remember, the denominator is the bottom number. So you're going to say 1 times x times 1 is equals to x. Where did I get this? 1 times x times 1 give you x. This is the product I mean. Then you take this product, you multiply it throughout the equation. Then it's going to be 1 over 1 times x. That gives you x is equals to still there. 2 over x times this is over 1, x will cancel, then you'll be left with 2. I think I should show it. This is 2 over x. If you are multiplying it with x, this is this x over 1. This and this will cancel out. Minus, if you are multiplying x over 1 with another x to make it fraction over 1, this x is this x. This side is this x into 1 over 1. So you see I'm multiplying with this x all throughout. This x is this x, is this x, is this x. What I do on the left, I also do on the right. That's what I'm doing here. Then you're going to be left with x times 1 is going to be x all over 1, 1 times 1, then this is just going to purely be x, and then this x will cancel that x because the other one is numerator, the other one is denominator. There will be 1. It goes x into x goes once. Then you're going to be you'll be left with 2 over 1 is the same as 2 minus this equation x times x, we add the exponent, then it's going to be x squared. 1 times 1 is just going to be over 1, then we leave it like that. Then in this standard form you can continue. Then we're going to take everything to the left hand side. Then this becomes x squared positive, and then we have this plus x, and then this is going to be minus 2, all equals to what? 0, because nothing is left here. We took everything to the other side. Then this is in a standard form, and it's an x squared here, meaning we are still using different of 2 squares to approach this. We're going to use this one and this value, whereby the factors of x squared is just x and x. X times x is going to be x squared, and then for 2 is going to be 1, 2, and 1. 1 times 2 gives us 2, but we need a positive 1. Then we need to have like plus in here, minus on the other side. Right, it's fairly factorized in this essence. And then from there, since we are solving for x, tell us what is x. You're going to say this bracket must be equals to 0, or the other bracket must be equals to 0. Any number you multiply by 0 is just going to give you this as 0. That's the importance of keeping the other side, the right hand side, equals to 0. Then this is going to be x. On the other side, it's going to be 1 because it's a negative, and then when it crosses the equal sign, it changes sign, becomes positive. Or x, this 2 is positive, when it crosses the equal sign, it becomes negative 2. Then you have solved. Those are your 2 answers. And you can as well check these values, plug them in there, check whether the equation is satisfied. Sometimes it doesn't satisfy. If one of your answers doesn't satisfy, mark it non-applicable. True that. And we move on. As we move on, we might have another one. We still have space. We still have space. We still have space. Let's say you have the square root 1. The square root 1 is a challenge as well to many people. Let's say we have the square root of x minus 1 is equals to x minus 1 again. Right, the only difference is that the other side has a square root and the other side doesn't have. Whenever you have a square root, you can remove the square root by squaring both sides. Then from here, you're just going to say everything squared. What you do on the left, you also do on the right, squared. Square root is going to, the squared is going to cancel the square root. Then you're going to be left with x minus 1. It's part of the law of exponent, which I haven't mentioned. And then this is equals to, on the other side, it's going to have you're going to have x minus 1 into x minus 1. Why? Because it's squared, meaning the brackets are twice. The other law of exponent that I haven't mentioned, it says the square root of a is the same as a to the exponent 1 over 2. Then you see if this becomes x minus 1 to the exponent 1 of 2 because of the square root, and if you multiply again by 2 because you are adding in a special 2, then this 2 will become 1 and then it removes the square root. You get the picture. Thumbs up if you get the picture, and like this video if you are getting value from it. Then we are here continuing. I've explained where the square root went. Then we're gonna just simplify before we factorize, because we must always factorize if the other side is 0. Then this becomes x times x becomes x squared. X times 1 becomes x minus x again becomes minus 2x, and then negative 1 times negative 1 becomes positive 1. Then you take this 2 to the other side, then you are left with 0 this side. You can either take this to the right or to the left. Why? You look for the easy way to have 0 on one of the sides. As long as you have 0 on one of the side, then you are good, then you can factorize. Then from here you have minus 2x. This is x. If it goes that side negative, then you're going to have 3x. Already here you have positive 1, and this is negative 1. Then if it goes to the other side, it's going to be positive 2. 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. Then from here you can factorize. This is still different of 2 squares. Then you're going to have 2 brackets is equals to 0. It's wiser to write the equals to 0 on the other side, because a is equals to 0 and 0 is equals to a is the same thing. I hope I'm making sense. Sure. And then from here you're going to have the factors of x squared is just x and x, just they don't change these ones. And then you're going to need factors of 2 that will give you 3, which is 2 and 1. But it's not positive 3, it's negative 3. Then it's going to be negative 1, negative 2, so that this gives you negative 3, and negative 1 times negative 2 gives you positive 2. Then you are certain that your answer is correct. Then from here you're just going to conclude by saying your x is 1 or your x is equals to positive 2 this side. Satisfied. I hope you understood. Thank you for watching. On the next video we're gonna go to quadratic equation. We need to use quadratic equation to get what your quadratic equation to get your factors, whereby it's an equation where you plug your a, b and c into it, and then it's just gonna solve, actually make easy factorizing easy for you. I'm gonna explain it in the next video. Thank you for watching, and looking forward to see you on the next video. Enjoy your day. Bye.